government on one side, no government on the other. This is ancient Israel, and it works because everybody's taught the law. And why do you follow the law? Because there's a God watching everyone. He wants you to be fair. He's going to hold you accountable in the future. You're about to steal, nobody's around, and then you think, God is watching me. He wants me to be fair. He's going to hold me accountable. Maybe I should hesitate stealing. It creates something in your head called the conscience. If everybody in the country believes this, you can maintain complete order with no police, right? And now, if you get rid of this God, all you got is a bunch of rules that some old men made up. Why follow them? Some will out of habit. Others are going to say, forget this, and they're going to yield to their selfish side and start robbing and killing and smashing windows and setting buildings on fire, and it's going to turn into this chaos, and then everybody's going to say, we need some strong leader to come and restore order. And the rubber band snaps back, and you got a king, right? So it only works with people ruling themselves if they're accountable to God. Once you get rid of God, then they give in to their passions and lusts, turns into chaos, and then you have a dictator take over. I'm going to share some examples. Did you know Israel was a republic for 400 years before they got King Saul? Right? For 400 years, there was no king. Every person was taught the law, and it worked. And then there was one guy that tried to mess it up. He was an illegitimate son of Gideon named Abimelech. And the story is that Abimelech went to the city of Shechem, and he was the first one to do race politics. He goes to him, he says, look, I'm one of your brothers. I'm bone, flesh. Look, this is right. We're the same. They didn't say, well, are you better at ruling than Gideon's sons? No, they didn't do that. They said, Gideon delivered us from the Midianites. Well, we don't care about that. He says, I'm one of you guys. Vote for me just because I'm one of you. And they said, okay. And so what did they do? It says that they gave him 70 pieces out of the house of Baalberith. And what did he do with it? Wherewith Abimelech hired vain and worthless persons which followed him. In other words, he's hiring rioters. And what do? By the way, this is what Proverbs said, he that soweth discord amongst the brethren. That's what Abimelech did. Everything was going along fine. He went into the little town and he was sowing discord. It says Abimelech went unto his father's house at Ophrah and slew his brethren. Kills them all. And then it says the men of Shechem made Abimelech king. And they go, well, King Saul was the first king. Well, no, this guy tried to slip in. And if it wasn't for somebody throwing a millstone off a wall, it killed him. But then they went back to being a republic again. Now, what happened? The republic worked as long as the priests taught the law. And then you have the priests stop teaching the law. What? Here's Eli, the main guy that's supposed to be teaching the law. His own sons are sleeping with women in the very tent where the Ark of the Covenant is. He's not even teaching the law to his own sons. And so then you have a story of a Levite with a silver graven image. It's in the book of Judges, and you're reading the story. Tribe of Dan comes along, takes the graven image, has this Levite come along and says, you can be a priest for our whole tribe. You're reading the story, and you're scratching your head thinking, what is this Levite doing with a silver graven? Isn't that one of the commandments? You're not supposed to have graven images. It shows that Levites weren't following the law. And then you have the story of a Levite with a concubine. The law says the Levite is to marry a virgin of his own tribe. Here he is with a woman he's not even married to. And they're traveling. And they're stopping at a house, and they're surrounded by sodomites. Something about that behavior that is not content with doing it in their own bedroom. They want to force it on other people. And this Levite is so hard-hearted, shoves the poor girl out, she gets raped and dies. And by the time you're grossed out with the story, you read this line, every man did that which was right in their own eyes. Why? Because the priests had stopped teaching them what was right in the Lord's eyes. Right? These priests, like Eli and so forth, they lost the fear of God. They weren't taught the law anymore. They gave in to their selfish human passions, turned it into chaos and lust. Everyone does. Feel like a girl today, boy tomorrow. I mean, whatever you want, whatever's right in your own eyes turns into this chaos. Right? You teach the kids you can kill your own babies, you know, and what happens is lawlessness spreads, and then everybody says, we need someone to come in and restore order, and that's when they get King Saul. And the people come to Samuel. They say, we don't like this self-government system anymore. We want to be like all the other countries. We want a top-down form of government with a king. Samuel cries, and the Lord tells Samuel, they have not rejected thee, they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them. Lo and behold, God's original plan for Israel was to not have a king, but to have everybody be taught the law and everybody be individually accountable to God. Now, after this,